A story of hope. One of the youngest COVID-positive survivors who's now gone home, a baby born preterm on April 17th at 28 weeks of pregnancy. And this is due to severe COVID in the mother. The baby needed mechanical ventilatory support and born with a birth weight of just 1,000 grams, I beg your pardon. The baby later tested positive. After 30 days of treatment for COVID, the baby has finally gone home. Let's go across to Uma for more on this. And Uma, this is the story of hope and positivity we all need to hear.
Absolutely, Gargi. Our youngest COVID survivor, certainly a hero. And along with her, of course, her parents who have kept the hope and persisted with that. And much more importantly, perhaps, the team of doctors and nurses at the private hospital, Krishna Institute of Medical Sciences, where she was for the last 1 month and then went home. She was, in fact, born on the 8th of April and now, therefore, about 6 weeks of age. She was born preterm, as you mentioned, at 28 weeks. In fact, the mother had turned COVID positive and she was on mechanical ventilation at that time of delivery. I'm going to be joined by the parents of this very youngest of COVID survivors, and I'm also joined by Dr. C. Aparna, who is the Clinical Director of Neonatology at the Krishna Institute of Medical Sciences. Dr. Aparna, first of all, thank you for joining us and many congratulations. The parents are so thrilled that you were able to give them back their baby safe and healthy. What is the kind of challenges that you faced with this particular baby? Because 1,000 grams, 1 kg is obviously very preterm and very underweight as well. And there must be other parameters that you must have been looking at. Plus, of course, the COVID challenge. At what stage did you know that the baby was also COVID positive?
Thank you, Uma and team NDTV. Yes, it was very challenging and exciting to be part of this journey with the baby of Mrs. Bala Monica and Mr. Rahul. I think, first of all, one of the primary challenges was, in transporting this baby who was just 920 grams when we received this baby from a different hospital and who was on ventilatory support. And, obviously our team of doctors and nurses had to go and transfer this baby in all the personal protective equipment. So that itself was a big challenge, getting the baby across safely, trying to maintain temperature, keeping track of the oxygen saturation levels and, the ventilation during the transport. And subsequently, of course, this baby was in our COVID isolation neonatal intensive care unit. So for around the next 8 to 10 days, the baby was managed in the isolation, where we kind of removed the baby from the mechanical ventilator because the baby started getting better. And the baby was managed with non-invasive ventilation or nasal ventilatory support. So during this time, of course, the baby's parameters had to be very closely monitored, and there were a lot of practical challenges in terms of managing the COVID isolation with a different team of staff nurses and trying to keep the other parameters, infection prevention, providing good nutrition, monitoring the baby's oxygenation levels and the ventilation, monitoring the heart rate and blood pressure optimally, with all the other limitations that we ourselves were having, by means of staying in the PPE the whole day. And of course, it was very heartening when the baby started showing recovery. And of course, we waited till the PCR came back negative, after which the baby was taken to the regular NICU and where the regular preterm care was provided. And of course, we had to wait for another maybe 3 weeks more for the baby to reach an optimal weight and to reach a status where the baby could maintain temperature, maintain the breathing status without any additional medical help.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go across to the parents of the baby, Rahul, as well as Bala Monica. Mr. Rahul, first of all, congratulations on the baby coming home. The journey must have been very tense for the two of you and the family.
Yes. Actually, we are very happy right now because of our baby is recovered very good, and Dr. Aparna Madam has given a good support to us virtually, as well as when we are not able to attend to the baby physically, she has called us virtually and shown a baby to the mother and reduced the gap between both of them. Has given a good support to my wife at the time.
In fact, I was told that your wife was in fact asked to express her breast milk, and that milk was being fed by nurses who were in fact playing foster mother to your baby.
Yeah.
So that again.
Okay, the baby is now home. Do you already have a name for her?
No.
Actually, we are searching for that.
Searching for the name. Not yet.
Okay. Dr. Aparna, I do understand that you have delivered as many as 35 mothers who were COVID positive, and now there is a big worry about babies, neonatals, or children, in fact, catching the infection. What is the kind of rate of infection transmission that you found in these neonatals, and what is the kind of precautions that you would advise? Because there is also this talk, it's not really a formal advisory yet, saying that if you can avoid a pregnancy, avoid it during this COVID pandemic period. What would you say to that?
Yes, we have kind of catered to around 40 women now who were COVID positive during pregnancy, who were delivered. I'm not including the women who could continue pregnancy and who got treated or recovered from COVID. So amongst these 40 babies, the good news is that none of the babies tested positive in their first PCR screening. So the transmission through the womb is extremely rare, to the tune of maybe 1 to 2%. And we at least have not seen a case of intrauterine sort of transmission. The newborns who have tested positive have been, cases of postnatal transmission or transmission after birth, like with the baby of Mrs. Balamonika as well. So we have kind of picked up babies who tested. So we have kind of had babies who have tested positive in the second or maybe third week. And all these have been cases of postnatal transmission, and only around 15 to 20% of newborns actually have developed symptoms because of COVID. So that's another thing. Most of them are asymptomatic. Now, when it comes to the outcome of newborns, it has been quite reassuring, and we have not had any mortality in the cases, the babies who have tested positive. However, COVID in pregnancy has been a little bit more challenging to manage. So although the government and the obstetric bodies have not come up with a formal recommendation on this, I think on a personal note, we as doctors do believe that this may not be a safe time to actually plan pregnancy. One does, happen to be in that stage where one might be thinking of starting a family. Probably it would be very wise to say that this is probably not the right time. But those who are pregnant, now the good news is that the government as well as all the medical and obstetric bodies have recommended that it is safe for pregnant women to get vaccinated for COVID.
Okay, so once again to Rahul and Balamonika, many congratulations. I know Balamonika was also actually on mechanical ventilation at the time of the birth of the baby, but both of you are back to health and safe and happy at home. So many congratulations, and we do hope that your baby gets a nice beautiful name and continues to stay healthy. Thank you so much, Dr. Aparna, as well as Rahul and Balamonika for joining us. Back to you, Gargi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.